first off, I'd like to excuse myself for my voice because I was sick this week. So if I sound unusually high-pitched, not that I don't on a regular basis, but anyway, sorry about that. Okay, first off, I wanted to know, like, how many of you in, like, middle school, high school thought that your parents were being unfair, or, like, didn't understand what you were trying to do, or, like, things like that?
Well,
Really? Oh, okay. Well, me too.
Oliver wasn't allowed to go to McDonald's until he was like 15.
Well, I mean,
No tea.
good for you in the long run. So me as well. And I think that it's a problem that's universal, right? So I was looking up statistics, and there's only about 30% of middle school, high school students that think that they have really good family communication. So, which is why not the only reason why, but I'm doing a family communication workshop on Saturday with high school students on family communication. So the reason why I was interested in the workshop was that about early October, I went to a panel networking thing in Matt's frat, actually, and a UAP grad, Franklin Miller, he was talking about how he was a director at the Y, and they always had free trips, and no one ever came. And when he would ask, like, oh, why didn't you come? It was such a good trip, da-da-da. They'd be like, oh, well, I don't have enough money for bus fare. And then when he'd be like, well, why didn't your parents give you money for bus fare? And he was like, well, I didn't ask them to, and they kind of just trailed off. So other than a lot of other things that were probably going wrong in that situation, I thought a lot of it was this sort of disconnect between parents and their kids. Because a lot of times parents are working parents and they have so much going on, and then either a student doesn't want to ask them, doesn't know how to ask them, or just like doesn't even bother. So, which is why I created the workshop. So the workshop is going to go from everything from verbal to nonverbal. So like how you set up what you're going to say. So think about why am I doing this? Why am I asking this? And then think of any questions that your parent's going to ask so that you can have some sort of support, and instead of being like, well, because I really want to and whatever, and that's not a good enough excuse sometimes. And then we go to choosing a place, like where are you going to talk to your parents? What are you, like, how are you going to say it? And then it goes into more like nonverbal, eye contact, when eye contact is really not the right place at all if you're staring at them and they think that you're being too confrontational, or sometimes they don't think you care. So that's the gist of the workshop. There's also going to be tips like not to whine at all, because no one likes whining, right? I mean, especially if you're a working parent. To enunciate your words and never say like you never or you always, because most of the times then your parents get on the defensive and you won't get anything that way. So I'm going to be doing this workshop on Saturday, and that's pretty much the material that I'm going to show to them in more organized way, and that was sort of just brief bullet points. My objective is to keep it conversational. I don't want to sit there. It's a Saturday, noon. A lot of students don't want to be there, so my goal is to keep it conversational and like have a couple laughs, maybe do something with them on body language so that it's somewhat interactive, which is something that I'm working on now. I also, when thinking about the presentation, and I thought what readings I had that sort of was in conjunction to this, I couldn't pick a single sort of reading. What I thought was interesting though, because the more I thought about it, it was like whenever I had an idea, I didn't take the initiative to do it. It was sort of whenever I took a leadership position, it was already a formed position, and I kind of knew what I was going into. And I didn't ever think, oh, that's a problem with family communication, I'll do a workshop. It just never seemed like a normal thing for me to do, which I don't know if it's because we're surrounded by students that are just doing activities on a normal day basis and like talking about all the great things they've done that has sort of shifted my ideas on what the norm is instead of just being secretary of this or whatever of that. So I think that's what I got out of this class as well. So my goals for the workshop is to have fun and not bore them. And also so that the students learn something, because most of them are juniors and sophomores and they're going to need to talk to their parents about really important things. And if they knew how to do that or know how to do that but just want to do it better, that would be great. Thank you.